like to call the meeting to order. Everybody please stand. Kristen, would you like to lead us in the prayer?
Yes. Father God, we just come together with humble hearts tonight, and we just ask for wisdom and clarity and wisdom as we navigate through tonight's meeting. In your name, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please call the roll.
Okay, let's see. Kristen Wan,
Here.
Jonathan Davis,
Here.
Sheila Goins,
Here.
Luana Christian,
Here.
Trey Cowell.
Here.
There appears to be 5 members. It looks like we have a quorum.
Thank you. All right. Our first order of business, the new business, is the discussion and approval of a policy change. I'm going to go ahead and say that I believe we're going to table this item. I know there's been a lot of talk, either on social media or whatever, about the board having a special meeting so soon after the meeting where we had a few members resign and the director was vacated. So I do want to clarify that the reason the date of the meeting was today at 6 o'clock is because this was the only day all of the board members or a quorum of the board could meet within the next 3 to 3.5 weeks. So I made a judgment call. We tried to post it as soon as possible. I think it was around 2 o'clock-ish. So it was a few hours before the 24-hour mark, and I wanted to get that out as soon as possible. This was not a rush to pass anything nefarious. I understand a lot of people don't like the first agenda line item, and I want to explain that. I've actually prepared a statement that I'd like to read about it. I want to clarify that this policy change isn't about lowering standards. A master's degree is a master's degree, whether it's in library science, education, or administration. They're all the same level of schooling, commitment, and advanced learning. By opening this up, we're allowing more qualified candidates to apply, especially those who have already served and in a respected leadership role in the parish. People like Principal Clark at Walker Junior High or Misty Thomason at South Fork Elementary are examples of the kind of trusted, high-character professionals who meet these educational standards. I want to be clear, these are not candidates. They haven't been approached or expressed interest. I'm simply pointing out the quality of leadership we already have here in Livingston Parish. To suggest that an applicant with a master's in a different field is automatically representative of a step down is not only unfair, it undermines the exceptional talent in our own backyard. We do not have any candidates already, and any candidates that people have given to me, I'm going to discourage the board from appointing as the new director. I want to be completely fair in this process, and I think that because this line item popped up, there was a lot of talk about it, so I'm going to move to table, or rather just table the agenda line item until the next special meeting after everybody gets back from our trips, our vacations, in the next 3.5 to 4 weeks. So if anybody is here to talk about that, I apologize. I do not want to miss anybody that really wanted to be here. And it looks like we do have a full room, but I can assure you there are probably plenty more people that were not able to make it here on such short notice, and I do not want to take away the chance for them to come and give public comment. So I think it's best that we're going to wait to do that. And obviously, now that I've read my statement, now that you understand a little bit of where we want to go, or where at least I would like to go in that direction, you can form your own opinion, be a little bit more informed as you proceed, as you digest that over the next month. And I hope everybody's all right with that. So we're not going to take a vote on that. We're not going to have public discussion on that. And we're going to move to B, which is the discussion for the resolution to have myself as a MANC designee for the Livingston Parish Library. This really is just to make sure that somebody is here to have check signing ability. I talked with both of the acting directors, and they said that in a few weeks we may have some problems whenever one of them has to go out of town. We want to make sure that people get paid on time. So this is not a power grab. It's not giving me any more authority. It just allows me to be the secondary signer on the checks to make sure things can move forward. So before we move forward, I guess we need to have public comment on this because I do believe we are going to have a vote. Does the board want to discuss that first, or would y'all like public comment first?
No.
All right. I guess we'll have public comment first. Is there anybody that would like to come up? All right. Is there any discussion among the board? All right. This resolution, I believe, also needs to include removing any of the check signers that are no longer on with the library.
That's correct. We need to remove Ronald Benkaz and Michelle Parrish as check signers. Currently, we only have 2, and we require at least 2 for checks to be signed.
Okay. So would somebody be favorably to move for this resolution to be amended with those 2 names taken off?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All right.
Jonathan, I do think we need to read the resolution now. Please.
Sure. Oh, we don't have it behind us. I apologize. Be it further resolved that this will bring the total number of bank designees for the Livingston Parish Library to 3. These 3 individuals are as follows. Dustin Cotton, Assistant Director of Branch Services, Julia Falcon, Assistant Director of Support Services, and Jonathan Davis, Board President. The foregoing resolution was read in full. The roll was called and adopted. Yeah. All right. Are y'all ready to vote?
Yep. Call for the vote.
Call the vote?
Ms. Wan,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Goins,
Yes.
Ms. Christian,
Yes.
Mr. Cowell,
Yes.
5-0 passes.
All right. And the last agenda item is not something to be voted on. It is just the committee assignments. With the absence of a full board, we wanted to restructure the committees to make sure that they're balanced and that we can continue to talk about the ongoing projects, especially the architecture project that we're doing at the library with the slab. So let's see. The policy committee is going to be myself, Dewana, and Sheila, and I will continue to be the chair of that. The finance committee is going to be Trey, Kristen, and Sheila. And with the new structure of the committees, I'll let y'all decide who is going to be the chair and the secretary at the beginning of the next committee meetings that y'all have. The infrastructure committee will be Dewana, Kristen, and Trey. And then, let's see, I think we have a director search committee already,
Yes.
or the review committee.
I'm sorry, the infrastructure committee was who? Sorry, technically.
Dewana, Kristen, and Trey. And even though there was no action, I would like to open up, just at the end, any public comment before we continue. Or, actually, I do think there is one more thing we need to do. I'd like to move to lift the agenda to, I know this is a procedural thing, to accept the resignations of the 4 board members that just resigned at the last meeting. I think we need to do that in order for the council to put that on their agenda next Thursday or whenever they see fit. So do I have a second for that?
I'll second it.
Is there any objection? All right, without any objection, the agenda is lifted. I move to accept the resignation of the, I guess we need to say the 4 members individually. So Jennifer, Dorhauer, Becky Morgan, what were the other 2? Rodlin, Hammond. Sorry guys, I've been 1,000 miles per hour today. And then Patricia Wilson. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, thank you. Please call the vote.
Ms. Swan,
Yes.
Mr. Davis,
Yes.
Ms. Goins,
Yes.
Ms. Christian,
Yes.
Mr. Cowell.
Yes.
5-0 passes.
All right. And I'll work with y'all on the message that we send to the council for that as well. Now I'd like to open it for public comment before we adjourn. Would anybody like to come up?
Can I speak to what happened on Tuesday?
That's not really on the agenda. We really want to focus on.
The first thing that you removed from the agenda.
Correct. We removed that from the agenda, and we want to
So
give
we can
everybody a
speak, but
chance
we
to.
can't speak.
You can speak about that, but because we tabled that line item, we really want to hear the public comment on the meeting that we actually have that. In the past, different boards have stretched agenda items across meetings, and it means in the future, we'd not actually need to, or we don't actually need to open public comment in the future for that line item if we do it today. So I'd rather not be accused of that. I'd rather not have any people say we're doing something nefarious. I'd rather keep the public comment on that agenda item at the meeting in question. Just if you have any questions about the special meeting, if you have questions for me about something unrelated to the agenda items or any of the other board members, I think we're all going to be here for a while after the meeting, just to give y'all clarity, make sure that as we move forward, we do it in the best way possible. And that was the reason we wanted to table this line item, so that everything doesn't look rushed, so that y'all have time to develop an opinion, change your opinion, submit your opinion, whatever you'd like for the next special meeting.
Can I come speak?
Absolutely.
So I think I'm going to go ahead and speak on the general meeting that we've just had and all of the agenda items as you just described. I'll just get this out quick.
Can you, I'm sorry,
Oh.
can you state your name for the
My name
record,
is
please?
Jordan Gonzalez. I'm from Denham Springs. I think, I speak for a lot of people when I say I think clearly there's a radical political agenda being done here. There's backroom deals being happening between these agenda items. I think the way the last meeting into this meeting that was handled, and that the fact that people were allowed to go home and lied to were absolutely ridiculous. I'm afraid for these committee appointments that you've made. There's clearly radical opinions on this board. I am fearful for how this library will be run moving forward. If in the next 3 weeks you drop that requirement, it's just only going to stoke more of those fears. So I suggest the public get ready to come out in 3 weeks, whenever you have that, to discuss this, because the library director needs to have good qualifications. The Library of Science master's degree is not just a simple degree. It is a very, very specific degree program that teaches people to run libraries out the gate. It is very important not to lower that. I think your statement is disingenuous. I think the way last meeting into this meeting has been ran is disingenuous, and that's all I have to say.
Thank you for your time.
I want to speak on something you just mentioned earlier. You said that you wasn't going to bring a certain agenda up because it doesn't give everyone that's not here an opportunity to speak. Well, you did that Tuesday. Y'all said that there was not going to be a vote. Most people left, and then you voted. So we didn't have an opportunity to speak public comment on that. So why close it now?
Right. And look, I see
No,
what
no,
you're
no.
saying, I see where you're coming from. Whenever Jennifer was talking about there would not be a motion on that item, I
No, this
specifically
is
said,
double talking. You're double
I
talking right
specifically
now.
said
Why are we
to
discussing
the
this
public
now
after
on the
that, that if
agenda?
somebody wanted to make a motion after we got out of the executive session, that there definitely would be public comment on
That
it.
was Tuesday?
Absolutely, yes.
You can go back and listen to it.
No.
Yes, in fact, I said that
was
specifically
said-
because I
This is not on the
figured there was going to be a motion to do exactly
No.
what happened.
There were several
So-
that stayed and they did not leave, and we
Point
kept
of
saying,
order,
why are they
Jonathan. Point of
leaving?
order.
That was not so. That was not
This is
so.
ridiculous.
Yeah, all right.
No,
Do you have
it's
any
not so.
additional public comments?
Not on what you're speaking of tonight.
President, I'd like to pass it.
I don't think we can do public comment on the agenda. Yeah.
Kathleen Hyde, I'll just say District 6, because nobody knows what the hell's happening at these board meetings anymore, what the policies are, what the rules are at this point. One thing I want to clarify from your statement, you basically made the statement that all master's degrees are equivalent or equivalent to an MLIS. I have 2 master's degrees, neither of them are equivalent to each other, neither of them are equivalent to an MLIS or any other master's degree. So, I mean, if we're just saying master's degree, well, I mean, you can interview me next, I guess. Further, I would like to know what this board's goal is and what the plan is for appointing an interim director.
It's already intended at the last meeting.
Hmm?
That was already discussed at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Well, I think that the public is lacking clarity on what the goal is and what the timeline for that will be. So while it may have been mentioned briefly at the last meeting, while we're having public comment here and while you're all here and this is the only time that you apparently have to get together for the next several weeks, I think the public would probably appreciate some additional clarity on that.
Yeah.
I'm not discussing it because it's not on the agenda, so I'm out of the discussion on that. It's not on the agenda.
Yeah. If you have anything else?
So are you saying you're not going to answer questions for the public about what the board
Not
intends to
if
do
it's
for
I'm happy to
search
stay
for an
afterwards
interim?
for as
It's not
long as
fair to
time to
the rest of
discuss
the people
everything
in
with
the
people.
parish.
I'd
It's
just
not on
rather
the
stay on
agenda.
topic.
I believe Robert's Rules of Order state that speakers should address the board chair, which is what I'm doing. So I'm asking you, I'm not asking other members of the committee at this point. If they choose not to speak on it, that's fine. I'm asking you as the chair, president, whatever it is of this board, what is your goal? What is this board's goal on appointing an interim director, and what is that timeline?
So we are going to get together over the next few weeks. After everybody gets back, we're going to hold a special meeting and we're going to discuss an interim director.
Okay, so you said that there are people who have already been suggested to you. You're going to decline them. That's fine. You know, that's your right. I don't know who they are. I don't know anything about them. I mean, you've already said that this board has no time where you can get together in the next 3.5 weeks. So you're not really giving any clarity to the public here.
Well,
So
that's
is
what this
it that you're
meeting
gonna get
was to be
together?
for. We're
Is it-
tabling the agenda item for the requirements,
You
so
didn't put
everybody can be
on-
at the next meeting to discuss this.
That is not what this meeting was for, or you would have put naming an interim director on this meeting. You said you can't get together in the next 3.5 weeks, or you're getting together in the next 3.5 weeks. Like, we're just asking for some clarity here.
We were not able to get together a whole bunch of applicants to review at a special meeting. That's what the review committee is for, to find the interim director. So this is not the appropriate meeting for that line item or agenda item to be on.
So is the intent of the review committee to find an interim director or a permanent director?
Both. The motion that we made during the last meeting was to both find an interim and permanent director with the review committee.
Well, I mean, I suppose you'll have to forgive members of the public since it was, 10:30 at night, people weren't watching. So to just say, oh, we already addressed that at the last meeting, like, clearly there's a lot of confusion and chaos out there. You have had an opportunity to clear that up. I don't really see that you're doing that. That is your choice. That is, your will. I don't think that's going to serve you well as it continues.
And that's your time. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
All right. Is anybody opposed?
I couldn't hear.
I made a motion to adjourn the meeting.
No, they're not.
Vicki Turner, Denham Springs. I had a speech prepared that I was going to read, but I'll save it for the next meeting. But, Mr. Davis, I just want to respectfully disagree with your comments about a master's in library science. I'm a librarian. I don't have a master's, but I have a school certification and a certification in technology leadership. And I know the training it took to achieve that. And there's several master's degree librarians in this group, in this room probably. It's a very specialized degree. I think that the people of this parish who voted for this library, who pay for this library, really need an explanation as to why, if that happens, if someone without a master's in library science is appointed as director, I think we really need an explanation and a justification for that. Okay, that's what I have to say.
All right. Now, I'll remind everybody.
Mr. Davis, excuse
Yeah.
me, I'm not feeling well. I'm gonna have to leave the meeting.
No,
All right.
Need to let the record show that at 6:19 we lost quorum, so
All
the
right.
meeting technically stops, but it's not adjourned.
All right, I'll adjourn the meeting.
I hope all the media got that they shut down public comment.
Like I said, I'll remain here to answer.
When signed in people at the podium, you are shutting